Hey YouTube, super exciting day today. We are going to learn how to use this. I am going to switch spots with my wife. I will sit over there and she will instruct me on how to do all of this. It might be a boring video. Okay, I have never used a Cricut before. The only thing I know at this point is to download the software and look up a design you like.
Yeah, so our project for today is that we've got some holiday wine bags. First step is to design on Cricut. I like to have a visual template to be able to understand. So go ahead and take the bag, and then we've got the ruler to the right to measure it. And I would measure out your design space. So the top across is about 6.5. And then down the length, it's a little bit over 12 inches. So go over to shapes.
Shapes. Okay.
Yep, shapes, and then click on one of the squares on the right. Awesome. So now we've got a square, but we need to make it the correct dimensions. So up at the top, underneath where it says untitled, there's a little lock where it has the dimensions. You'll need to click the unlock, or else it's going to keep it as a square.
Oh.
Perfect. So that's a digital representation of our bag. And then up at the top left, it has the black little cube. Go ahead and change that one to like a yellow. So this looks a little bit more like this is our bag. We're doing this so that way we have a comparison of, you know, when we have the design finalized, what kind of colors do we want everything to be. We did some research earlier of like what kind of a design do we want to make, and this ho 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 bottle is what we're thinking to go with. So with the Cricut, you have a few different options of you could copy and paste that exact same design and put that into your system, or what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna make it on our own. And where it says text, click on text on the left side. Yeah, and then type in ho ho ho.
Sorry, I'm not good at using your mouse.
That's okay. All right, so next let's type in whole bottle. So since we're gonna change the font, it's gonna change the size of everything anyways. So let's stay there for a second. Let's go to that one, and then in the top, we're gonna go over to the far left. It says font. Perfect. We're gonna go to system. We're gonna go to DaFont. DaFont is a great website where you're able to get free fonts. Thank you, and shout out to all the artists that make amazing fonts for everybody to use. So we're gonna do the ho 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 as Britannic bold.
Am I supposed to search it?
Just BRI, and then it's that second option. Or the first one there.
Okay.
Perfect. Yay! So now we're gonna go to whole bottle and do the same thing. And then we're gonna go to system and search Aloha. Next, let's add some images. So we're gonna go, hi Barley. We're gonna go over to images, and then in that search bar up at the top, search for whatever you wanna add to it.
Wine. Bottle.
Barley's trying to play with the bag.
She could play with it.
Oh, she's hitting the mic.
Okay, how do I use this one?
Awesome. So now in the bottom right hand corner, click to add to canvas. Alright, so next things to consider is that we have different colors of the heat transfer vinyl. We want to figure out what colors do we want all of these fonts or each of these pieces to be. You know, let's change that one to silver. Sure. And then you can change the ho 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 to whatever other color you want.
I kind of like them black. It's my first time using a Cricut, so I prefer easy.
Alright, so now what we need to do is on the far right, where we made that template box, we're going to hide the template box. Go down and then click on that eye on the right side. Next, we gotta get the Cricut set up.
So I gotta move the camera?
Yep.
Okay, we are moving the camera. Just kidding. We are not filming the printing part yet. My wife wanted to do 4 of them and have the wine glass part red. And there's a few really important steps between here and printing, and she's gonna walk me through it.
Yeah, so because we're cutting the heat transfer vinyl, we need to mirror the image. What we're gonna do is go ahead and highlight all of the stuff that we're working on. And then in the top, we're gonna go to mirror. Yeah, right there. Perfect. And then click flip horizontally. So that's how the Cricut will cut everything. So now that we've got everything looking really good, we're gonna click make it in the top right-hand corner. Because we have 3 different colors, we have the silver, we have black, and we have red. What the Cricut did was help to organize all of those onto different sheets. And so now what you're doing is trying to organize how is this actually gonna cut. We need a little bit more space in between each of those because we're going to be physically cutting these apart as well. And you can have that one touch that red line up at the top. So now let's go to black and do the same thing, organize these ones. Perfect. Now we're gonna go to red. Now the red one is already pretty well spaced out. That'll be easy enough to cut, but we don't wanna have 2 sheets of red. So go to the second, or go to sheet number 4. Yeah. And then click on the 3 dots in the top left of that image and click move object. We're gonna move it to that other mat. Perfect. That looks good. So now we're actually ready to cut. So go ahead and click continue. First, you're gonna select your material. So here we're gonna select heat transfer vinyl. And I've already, or the glitter iron-on.
Glitter iron.
The last one.
Oh.
Yeah, I already selected that one as a favorite. We don't need to add any increased pressure with this one. We're good with the default pressure, but everything looks good there. So now we're ready to actually move the camera to load our material onto the mats and then ultimately load it into the machine.
Let's print.
Cut. We're not printing.
So we're ready to print. I don't know what to do next.
So we're gonna cut, but so next steps is that we're gonna take the Cricut mat that you have. We're gonna use a light grip mat. There's a film over top of it that we're gonna peel off. Perfect. And that's just a protective film for storage. So next steps is that we need to get the vinyl. So currently we have loaded that the Cricut wants to start out with the red vinyl. So here's our heat transfer paper. And with this, as I said earlier, we mirrored it. We're gonna take the shiny side down. So when you do this, I would roll part of it in your hand so that way you're holding most of it so it's not getting stuck on the mat as you're going. And then line up the corner, perfect. And then we're gonna roll the whole thing out, making sure that it's all nice and lined up. So now that we've lined it up, so we're using the light grip mat instead of using like the strong grip or anything else, just so that way this peels off. But there's some corners, especially up at the top where we're gonna feed this into the machine, that get, kind of try to get uncurled or like get off the mat. So we've got our Scotch tape that we're gonna use to be able to help kind of keep the vinyl down a little bit, especially up at those edges or those lips. So here, just add a little bit of Scotch tape. We're not trying to cover the vinyl as much as we are just trying to make the top part smooth so it doesn't lift when it's loaded into the machine.
Is that enough?
Perfect. And then we'll just do that for like a little bit in the middle. It's okay if it goes over the hole. We have our mat set up.
Do you want to do any of this?
I think the rest should be fine. The most important piece is always that top part, because that's what's gonna get messed up. Usually that's what gets messed up the most. So now take your mat and we're gonna load it into the machine. There's 2 little hooks on either side to align to show you where it is that the mat needs to go. We're gonna line it up. That looks good. We're gonna add just a little bit of pressure. We're not trying to force it in, but just kind of keep it stabilized. And then you're gonna click on the flashing arrow button and that will load it into the machine. And then release. Perfect. And so now the machine's got the mat loaded. The mat looks really good inside the machine. And everything else is ready for you to go. So go ahead and click on the flashing Cricut button.
All right, time to hyperlapse. So we are all done printing. I don't know what to do next.
Awesome. So it just finished cutting. And so next what we're going to do is you're going to carefully take that off of the mat. So I would peel it back. You can peel you can bend the blue mat. I wouldn't bend the vinyl as much. Just as a standard practice piece.
So just like let it drop.
That's one way to do it. Yeah.
So I'm ready to pick at it with the thing.
Yeah, so the next steps is that we're gonna weed it.
I have peeled my first sticker. We are all done printing and put away the Cricut. We have to finish peeling everything and then we will get ready to iron. We have all of our stickers cut and I don't know what to do next.
So next steps, we've got our iron ready. We have our ironing board set up and we have our cloth that we're gonna use to kind of just protect everything. First step that we're gonna do is take the burlap bag that we're gonna start out with. Go ahead and take that and we're gonna go ahead and iron that one just to get that crease out. Make sure that it's nice and flat. Awesome. All right, so that's nice and flat. The other thing that this helps out with is getting the surface a little bit warm so that way the transfer stickers kind of stick a little bit when you're placing everything. So we're gonna go ahead and place down the ho-ho-ho.
Anywhere?
Yeah, wherever you want to put it. Perfect. Next, wine bottle or whole bottle. And you don't have to stick because if you want to like move things around and like replace things, then you got some space to be able to do that. Looks pretty good. Go ahead and carefully lay that on top. And that also, I like doing that because it also helps to keep the stickers kind of in place as you're ironing. All right, go ahead and iron. And here you're gonna take care not to like heavily move the iron around and do like a solid 5 seconds at least on each spot. Sweet.
It's on cotton.
Yeah, that's where it needs to be.
Oh.
So now we'll go ahead and check how the vinyl's sticking. So go ahead and take that cloth off. And so now at first glance it looks like it's all good, but the real test is gonna be, you're gonna kind of peel this piece and see how it's still peeling off. It means it needs to go for a bit longer.
Moment of truth. Let's see what we got. And that's pretty nice. Video 108 done.